Hey there, it's Sunday morning and I just released a video on doing this to my tape, adding this finger guard that you can use to draw lines on, different stuff. Another thing to use this for is cutting drywall, is you do the same thing. You take the tape out to say whatever size you need, put the knife up against the blade and make your cut like that. Handy for that. And this is an idea that I've had for a very long time. And the interesting thing is that I'm getting comments. I haven't gotten that many comments yet. It's just about an hour ago I posted the video, but I'm already getting comments about patent it. And the irony there is that I pitched this idea to FastCap over 10 years ago. It was before, I would think it was just getting started on YouTube at the time. And at the time, FastCap was taking idea submissions for product ideas, and you had to make it in video form. So I made this very terrible video, which I still don't have. It's on one front, I'm really glad I don't have that video anymore, even though there are other videos that I made at that time that are just as bad, probably. But on the second hand, on the other hand, I'd like to have that video to look at today. But yeah, they turned it down. He turned it down, the head guy at, because that was who was handling this stuff. He turned it down. I can't remember his name. And said that it was more of a thing that would be interesting to, or attractive for carpenters and not really for woodworkers. Well, I don't know. Have you looked around and looked at the things that woodworkers are buying these days? Well, I don't think they actually know what they need. So I think that this would have worked. I think that this would have been a good upgrade, because I would, like, in a heartbeat, if I saw a measuring tape with this feature, more sophisticated than this, of course, I'd buy it. I would. And, like, I'll be using it all the time. So, yeah. That's the long and short of that. I made this, I did the whole thing on Friday, and I got up yesterday morning and edited the video and had that done really before lunch. So, good project in that regard. And I spent way more time trying to get a good looking picture of it. And then when I got the picture of the tape upside down like this, showing the thing sticking out, the back of my tape is all scratched up. So I had to color that in the picture to make it look more, less distracting. You get, your tape all torn up on the back here. And I got a comment suggesting, well, why didn't I just make it so it wraps around the tape rather than fit inside the body? Because then, it wouldn't fall off. You wouldn't need anything to keep it in place. And I thought about that method. Like, one of the methods that I thought of was that, having it so it lips around the tape. The problem with that is that it would have to be lined with something that's durable enough to last, and also soft enough that it won't scratch all the marking off the tape, because, that's what's scratching the marking off the back of this tape, just rubbing against the inside of the bottom of the plastic case. This is just plastic on the inside. There's no metal in there. All right, so yeah, it doesn't take much to rub the markings off. So I thought this was the best solution. And like I said in the video, it would be better if it was built into the tape. Like, if you designed the tape to begin with for this feature, it would work out great, because then you could actually have it recessed slightly so that the tape would already be sticking out. It wouldn't be sticking out of the body, but this thing would be further back. So you would be able to get your finger in there comfortably. In the meantime, though, there's no problem grabbing that with your fingernail, right? And I mean, if you're using that tape with this feature all the time, you quickly get used to that. See, my bandsaw is sitting up here. I haven't gotten around to building the platform that it goes on right here, the one that's going to slide out with it on there. And I don't know, it's hard to find motivation for those kinds of projects, because I made a video of the other ones that I made for these other two tools, the one that swings up with the belt sander on it, and the one that slides out with the oscillating spindle sander on there. But those videos didn't do well, and I knew they wouldn't do well, so I don't think that making another video on the same topic is going to do well. On the upside, I can just do it and get it done, and then I don't have to worry about filming or taking pictures or any of that stuff. So on one hand, it's good. On the other hand, it's not good, and it's the not good part that's, you know, stopping me from getting it done, because, you know, I really want to concentrate on getting projects done that have videos. So this is still on the back burner. So this is sitting up here for now. And if I really need to seriously use it, I can move it down onto the workbench. People are already probably losing patience because the title of the video is, you know, Second Thoughts about the Domino machine, and I haven't talked about it yet. Well, I'm going to talk about it now. All right, so I said in the thing that it was the $1,000 machine. It's I don't know if it's $1,000 in the US. It was over 1,600 here, so it was slightly off. And you know, you got to throw on that the government's cut tax, and yeah, you're closing in on $2 grand for this tool. So you really need to be, I don't know, if you're getting good money for what you're doing, you don't really need to be doing that much. Hey, there's some plastic on the bottom here that I didn't peel off. Let's do that now. Oh, look at that. It's got some fine lines on there. It's really nice. Looks like stainless steel. Anyway, so I wanted to say a couple other things about it. Like drawbacks, probably, for a $2,000 machine almost, is that you need a hose hookup here to clear the chips. Like, I used it without that. I don't have one. Like, I got a shop vac that I could use, but I need to make an adapter to go on here. I don't have one of those, you know, fancy auto start dust extractor things. And so it doesn't clear the chips. Not like that's one of the reasons why I said, the biscuit joiner is faster, because it clears the chips. After each one of the cuts of this, you really need to take it and shake it out, right? Take it up like this and down like that and shake it out while it's running. And yeah, unless you have a hose hookup. I don't know, people say, well, get a hose hookup already and stop, you know, moaning about stuff that you can solve. Well, you know, I'm just saying about the tool itself, how it came for that almost $2,000 price. The other thing is that this bit that it came with, which is the 5mm one, is really too small for the majority of joinery that, I don't know, furniture type joinery that you'd be doing, in my opinion, because this is not much thicker than a biscuit itself. A biscuit is 4mm, and this thing is 5mm. Now, the advantage here is that it'll go in deeper, of course, but for that money, it should have came with 2 bits. This size and, say, the 8mm. I think the 8mm one would be the go-to one for most joinery that I'll be doing anyway. If I had the 8mm one, when I went to use this this tool on my night tables, words are failing me this morning, guys. Sorry. I would have used the 8mm because, you know, 5mm, little small. Last thing to talk about are the jeans that I repaired 8 months ago. And I'm showing this now because I just washed them. Not for the first time. They've been washed maybe 5 times since then. I really only wear these when I'm out here working in the shop. Okay, so they don't get hard usage, but when I'm out here, I'm bending down and all that stuff. It's putting a lot of stress on that. Absolutely still perfectly fine. On the inside, you can see the patch is holding awesomely, and it stopped the thing from ripping any further. Like, it was starting to stress here, it stopped that, and yeah, it's holding up great. So I know that, you know, that video, if you saw it, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I made a scrap bin channel video that talked about, like, showed me doing this, putting the patch in my my cheap jeans that split in the rear end. And, you know, this is an update showing you that it's holding up just fine. All right, so if you've got a similar situation and you have the right glue, it has to be the right glue though. It has to be the right glue though. You can make a similar repair and, you know, your jeans live another day for just pennies.
Well, now I'm ready to start assembling the frame. And all the joints will be secured with a little bit of construction adhesive in either screws or carriage bolts.